Hey guys, welcome back to another mental game video. This is where I share excerpts from my best-selling book, The Mental Game of Electronic Music Production. So I always like to start here with a quick review, and then we'll get into today's subject, which is spend less time to get more creative output. All right, so our review comes from Maily Girl, and she entitles the review Inspiring, and she writes, "This is an inspiring read, and most of it is relevant and applicable to practically any other goal or dream you have. He makes excellent points with tips, tricks, challenges, advice, and a little humor. Honest and refreshing as it brings up obstacles that probably all of us face when working towards something. I recommend this if you produce music or want to." And then she puts a quote from the book, "Your musical heroes are not really heroes. They are arrows pointing in the direction of your own potential. You are putting something new into this world." And also she quotes, "Create your own dent in the universe." Thank you, Maily Girl, or Maily Girl. I really appreciate that. With that, let's get into the topic today, which is spend less time and get more creative output. Okay, so most of us go through this period where we feel that sitting down to make music is going to be a waste of time, mainly because we don't feel we have the time to actually get done what we want to get done. And the issue with this is oftentimes we are giving ourselves pressure to accomplish quite a bit every time we sit down. And sometimes that is just not realistic. So for example, I was trying to motivate myself to sit down and do more work and, finish more songs. So what I decided I was going to do was I was going to sit down for 2 hours every day to make music, and just keep on that pattern every single day. Well, you can probably guess I didn't last too long. I made it about 3 days being motivated, 2 more days feeling unmotivated about it, and then life got in the way and excuses came and I just couldn't continue at that pace. Then what happened is, I felt like I failed my commitment and I pretty much fell off the wagon. That's just the way that trying to create habits can work oftentimes. So I had to step back and realize that this wasn't necessarily a realistic goal. I mean, if it's a realistic goal for you, if that seems completely doable, great, but it didn't work for me, all right? So I decided to step back and take a new approach. And what I decided was, instead of trying to accomplish a lot of music every time I sat down, what I wanted to accomplish was the sitting down part, was the actually taking time every day, okay? Not 5 days a week and taking the weekends off, not every other day, every single day. So I had to figure out something that was stupid simple that would be ridiculous for me not to do. So what I decided on is I would sit down to make music for 15 minutes every day, okay? 15 minutes. After the 15 minutes, I'm done. I get to reward myself because I've accomplished the sitting down and opening up Ableton and getting to work for 15 minutes. And as you can predict, not a whole lot is going to be accomplished, right? So you can't really reward yourself for what you accomplish. You have to reward yourself for creating the habit, all right? So let's say that you take a trip where you're not home, you're not by your computer. Well, you still got to put in that 15 minutes. So what, if a friend has an acoustic guitar, play that for 15 minutes. If you have your phone with you, come up with melody or ideas. Use a music app on your phone. Do something musically for 15 minutes, even if you don't have your computer in front of you. That way you're making no excuses. And what you're doing is you're priming yourself every day to have creative time, all right? What's going to end up happening is that you're going to find it seems abnormal not to sit down to make music, okay? After you've done this for a couple weeks, that will become the new habit, and not making music will seem as uncomfortable as right now making music may seem to you, all right? Now, what is really important here to understand is I'm aware that you are going to go through periods where you find that you have more than 15 minutes to put into your music. And that's great. So if you feel motivated and the time opens up for you, then take that time to make music. What I usually recommend is step away when you're still feeling motivated. That way, when you come back the next day, you've got a little bit of excitement and juice. Sometimes if you work until you're burned out, then coming back the next day kind of seems a little bit more like a task. So something to keep in mind. But here's the important thing. No matter how much time you put in on any specific day, that doesn't take away from the necessity for you to spend 15 minutes the next day. All right. So if you put in an hour one day, don't think that you could take the next 4 days off because you put in 4 times, your 15 minutes. You still got to go back and do that 15 minutes. Okay. What's going to happen though, is you will find that some days more time will open up to you, because that's naturally what happens when you prime yourself. Okay. You're also going to find that when you do sit down for these 15 minutes, you're going to be more prepared and more organized. So you're probably going to accomplish more than most people would in 45 minutes or an hour in that 15-minute period. So this is really going to help you stop making excuses for not making music. All right. I mean, add up 15 minutes a week, 15 minutes a day for a week, for a month, or for a year, and you're going to have loads of hours that you've put into your music making that just would not have happened if you hadn't dedicated yourself. And then again, remember, some days you're going to spend more than 15 minutes. So it's all going to accumulate. All right. The next thing I want to get to is another approach that you can take as well. And this one can be pretty fun as well. And that is I would suggest not doing this until you've created your 15-minute a day habit. But some days what you might want to do is set a timer for, let's say, 30 minutes, when you can set aside 30 minutes in a day. But in this case, you don't allow yourself any more than 30 minutes. So even if you get a lot done and you're motivated or whatever, you have to cut off in 30 minutes. And what this does is it gets your brain to be more active and in the moment and less distracted on the task at hand. So that 30 minutes can be incredibly focused and dialed in. Okay. So this is a trick that I often do sometimes as well to get myself to move more efficiently in that amount of time. And I kind of can go back and forth between the 15 minutes a day and on occasion setting a timer for 30 minutes. This is a really great balance. One, the 15 minutes is stupid easy and it's ridiculous. If you really want to be a music producer, it's ridiculous not to be able to put that amount of time in. If you can't put 15 minutes a day into something that you have a passion about, then you really need to rearrange your life, right? So this is a really simple way to get yourself moving. It's kind of like if you have an issue with flossing every day, then commit to flossing one tooth every day. If you say you don't have time or you're always busy or whatever, one tooth. If you happen to do more teeth after you start, great. If you don't, reward yourself for doing one tooth. And once again, it just sets up that habit. So this is my recommendation to you to get more productivity, stop making excuses for not having time, and creating a habit that's really going to last because it's very realistic and small. Okay. So if you liked this video, make sure to check out the book. It's called The Mental Game of Electronic Music Production, and you can pick it up on Amazon. It's the #1 bestseller. Also, if you got Kindle Unlimited, you can grab it for free. And by the way, you don't need a Kindle in order to read these books. You can download a free app on any mobile device and any computer. So something to think about. Also, if you're interested in one-on-one coaching, or you want to take your music further and you want kind of someone to help guide you, then feel free to go to musicsoftwaretraining.com/application, and we can have a free 20-minute consultation. Just fill out a quick form. You'll be able to schedule your appointment with me, and I'll get in touch within a couple days. So with that, have a fantastic day and start making music. Take care, guys.